Alright, hello to all my guys, gals, and non-binary pals out there across the electrical ocean. This is Jazzman. We've got hetch3 playing full faction Forsaken Waste. I'm sure everyone is super excited to see more full faction Forsaken Waste action, am I right? But we've got also Kendoshi over here playing full faction Savage Tundra. And this is already kind of a weird opening. We've got Sirkin and Phoenix both going for mid. Sirkin actually teleporting out of mid-font. Or away from mid-font, I guess. Phoenix wasn't technically in it, so he could do that just fine, just out of Phoenix's, range for the moment. And then, Disturbed Spirit grabbing top. He's got the banner in the font preemptively, and then a Blood Fiend as follow-up. The longest adept is going to be good versus the Spirit here. Magical damage down early, always nice to see that. And yeah, this is the new Disturbed Spirit, by the way. The reworked, I guess the rework. Now that it's not so annoying. It doesn't have the healing, the built-in healing anymore. It's got a little more damage in Aura 3. I've been kind of wanting to try it out. Is that bad? Like I like the look of his abilities now. He's 45 Nora, like he's still super cheap. But he has some fierce energy, and I'm pretty sure Doom is gone as well, so he's not like super cheese. He just kind of floats around menacingly and harasses a font if he gets close enough. But Phoenix is going to walk into the font here, forcing the Sirkin to re-engage. And Sirkin actually can't... no, he can. I'm mistaken. He can dictate if he moves his Blood Fiend first, which he did not. I guess he's just going to get the kill. Oh, no, don't... Okay, so what he should do here, if he's smart, is walk into the font first. Well, okay. Well, I guess he didn't. Put down the relic and then walked in. See, I think what he should have done is walk into the font and then have it contested before Phoenix dies, so that way the Phoenix respawns over here, right? Rather than in the font, and it's just, there again. But he actually puts down Mist of the Dead to contest. Mist of the Dead. I'm so glad to see people running Mist of the Dead. And it immediately gets destroyed by an Ice Dragon statue. You piece of shit. I wanted Mist of the Dead to see some action. Not because I had a hand in redesigning it myself. Oh, no. I just, I really like it. I think it's a great, annoying font contester. And then it immediately eats a 40 Nora spell, I guess, worth, right? So Phoenix, and there are actually a lot of runes in this game that I'm really liking. I like Phoenix, I like the new Sirkin, I like Mist, and I like Disturbed. And, Tracker Narc is cool. He's kind of cool, I guess. He summons snowcats. I am more of a cat person myself than a dog person. So Sirkin doing a frost cone, hitting up everything in that font. And he could actually teleport into the back and take the font for himself while Blood Fiend delays the Narc. And Doom. Narc is just going to get doomed, and he's going to be very sad. Man, I would have laughed so hard if there was a Snowblind up and Blood Fiend ate the Doom instead. But Sirkin here can just teleport safely away, and then Blood Fiend rocking that font. I'd be a little concerned about Swarm, but with the counter on Narc now, he kind of just has to get in and do some damage before he pops. Honestly, Blood Fiend here is almost dead. He's at 19. Is there a way Kendoshi can work out a Swarm? I'm sure there is. Like he could, I was gonna say Ice Storm or Deep Freeze. And then Narc gets the cat. And actually that puts Sirkin at 9 HP too. Ooh, do another Ice Storm. Do another Ice Storm and finish that Sirkin. That'll probably lead to an immediate surrender, I think, from Hetch. But we've got Adept here to counter the Spirit, and then he's got to stay out of Latch on range, and that's pretty much all he has to worry about. And, Terrorize. Oh wait, does Terrorize move him over the lava? There's no way, right? Like if he terrorizes that log and it moves out over the lava, that would be hilarious. But Broken Bones coming in, and thank God I don't have to rant about the upgrades again. Hetch, the smart one, taking Rabid. Waffle Pounder, you could learn a thing or two from your senpai here, Hetch. Or I think it's the other way around. Waffle Pounder is an older player than Hetch is. So we got the Phoenix on Phoenix action. We got Blood Phoenix for some on the play. Oh, he doesn't have what is it? Death. Why is my mind blanking? Dark Favor. He has Grace of the Dead instead, which I don't hate it. I think Grace of the Dead can come in clutch in some situations, as long as it's not rank 1. Rank 1 is just god-awful piece of ass-munching dog crap. but that I hate so much. I hate that Rorschach put Grace of the Dead 1 on fucking Angel of Death. I will never forgive him for that. But yeah, rank 2 is pretty good. 12 HP, and then another 6 more. But if Kendoshi plays this right, he can get a ton of swarms off this Broken Bones. And then, you know, off the splits, right? But he entangles for now, biding his time slowly. He is a master after all. That is, I was gonna say Kendoshi. It is kind of Japanese, right? It's Kendo and then Shi, and Shi is a suffix used to denote mastership of an art or a craft, such as Kendo, the Japanese sword practice. So there's your languages lesson for the day. Kendoshi is a master of Kendo. And he's, whether he's a master of Pox Nora or not remains to be seen. He is guarding that font up top with Adept. And, he's got control of mid. Hetch doesn't really have any action down there. Bones kind of has to back off away from the Narc and just wait for it to die. This is Kendoshi's last turn with it, though, so he needs to do some damage. Get at least one swarm. He's got Hexed, though. He has 4 damage. There's no way. I think if he was going to use a spell, he should have split afterwards, because at 7 HP using a spell now, it's like you're never going to get it. It's going to be too much damage and you'll never get the swarm. So he leaps onto the snow. There's an orb of frostfall somewhere here, by the way. That's why there's all this snow trail. But we're not entirely sure where it is. So the Narc leaping in, he's just a little bit short of the swarm. He's not going to get it in time. Well, pop goes the Narc. I guess... Oh, wait, where is... Oh, yeah, the Phoenix Aura killed it, of course. But yeah, that does leave 2 globes here for Hetch. I probably wouldn't have left the Narc in like that. If you weren't going to get the swarm anyway, in any way, then you should have just left it at the back for it to die so that you could get the globe yourself. But now, Hetch just gathers those 2 tasty globes. And honestly, not getting the kill on that Sirkin is kind of a big deal, because he's going to get Dictate all the time, and he's going to scale up with Vengeful. So, and then, yeah, there's just another Broken Bones now that the Narc is gone. So a Sirkin can get a couple Life Siphon procs off of that Phoenix. An Aspect of Death, I am not a fan of this rune. I was talking earlier about how I liked the runes in play. Now, not so much. Aspect of Death really isn't... he's really not worth it in my opinion. He's just way too expensive. That's really all it is. Like, his abilities are fine. I'd like to see some reworks on his lines, but other than that, it's just a price. Like, almost 90 Nora for what? Like, you're never gonna... Like, 2 deaths, he takes too long to pay himself off, and he's really not all that durable. So, Kendoshi, of course, the inevitable with Disturbed Spirit Font Contest. Adept is a nice counter, but he has to kind of keep out of range. That latch on. Disturbed can just walk wherever he wants. He's honestly not going to get more than 1 attack, I think, before Disturbed just kites him around. So there's the 10. And then, he needs another champ, I think, just for the Grand Aura to whittle down that spirit. Because he's gonna walk right up next turn, Lonks Adept. Can walk away for another hit, but then the latch on will follow, and that, it won't be enough after that. But Kendoshi does still have solid control of mid. He's got a lot of amp out with the shamans. And we'll see some Revere too. Revere Ice Snap, so maybe we'll see the big boy coming down. Gale Force onto the Sirkin. That is a little bold. 9 damage. You might have this kill here. So Aura does 7, we know that. And then the Shaman attack should... Oh, that's a perfect kill, actually. Masterfully executed there by Kendoshi. Perfect kill on the Sirkin with Aura, and then that kind of just ruins all of Hedge's plans. Like, all of his late game just goes down the drain now. He doesn't really have a win con now that the Sirkin is dead. His only real advantage is that he's got the Spirit. And, there's a fucking snow trap to add insult to injury. Broken Bones can't even get the globe. So that's a little bit sad. Aspect of Death can, I guess, float over there and hit the Snowcat. This is another unfortunate thing for Hetch, is that this Snowcat is just going to sit there, and Aspect of Death can't do shit, because Soul Strike means nothing versus a summon. So Phoenix is going to have to finish that off at some point, and then I don't know. It's really not looking good for Hetch. He did get a lucky terrorize on that logs, putting him all the way over here. The fear preventing an attack on the following turn. So he's not given up yet. FW is known for their strong late game. Maybe you can get like an unholy tomb deploy at the back and start outgenning the font. But long side up moving back in. Frigid Barrier won't really do anything here. Honestly, I probably would have put the banner up top, just so that if in the unlikely event that Hetch deals with the Adept, or gets it out of there somehow with maybe another Doom, you at least have the Relic to contest, so that Disturbed can't get at it. Or also, what he could have done is put the banner here to block for his Adept, and then Adept could just sit outside the font and take shots at the Spirit, you know. Because Spirit would have had to walk all the way around like this or like that, and then he could have like kited around the banner that way and not had to worry about staying in the font. Because having to stay in the font is really what's killing him here. But over here, I mean, things are looking all right. He gets the globe with the cat, and Broken Bones splitting its ass up. Splitting his cheeks for the cat to wiggle on into. I don't know where I'm going with this. But the Blood Phoenix respawns, heals up. It's a little unfortunate that he didn't get the Grace proc when before Broken Bones split. But yeah, there's the second champ that I kind of knew was coming. Crystal Crawler. The Luminescence, it should be nice. Now, I mean, now he doesn't really have to attack. He can just wait for that to whittle it down, but it's going to be a while. It's definitely going to be a while, especially after that Grace of the Dead, keeping the spirit in the fight. So pop goes the Phoenix. That Phoenix has put in a lot of work, I gotta say. All the auras, now the Death Nova. I'm kind of sad to see the change, the proposed change for Crystal Phoenix on the patch, or on the patch notes. Kind of reworking it away from the whole rebirth mechanic, expensive rebirth stuff, and then into basically changing it back to what it was, only a lesser version of a Divine Favor champ. I don't agree with that. I know it has more synergy with elementals in this situation, but I prefer the current version. I like that it has some consistency with the other Phoenixes, that's all. And it, you know, it has some a useful set of abilities. But meanwhile, the Double Doom here from Hetch. One of them was a Death Knell, and then the other one was just the spell. I swear to God, people running Double Doom is like... I mean, Hetch is obviously running Double Doom, and he's... Wait, what? Kendoshi, where are you going? where are you off to, my brother? The action is over here. That must have been a misclick. There's no way you move like this without that being a misclick, right? Like, there's no reason to run. Like, he's blocked up in snow. You're fine. But yeah, down. So in goes the font. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, the Doom. People who run Double Doom, they're assholes. I don't like them, even though Doom is kind of an inefficient spell in most cases. But I mean, when there's so few champs on the board like this, it's pretty good. Like, he's got the top contested, meaning Hetch is basically even in fonts. And I mean, it's not like he's haggling over the fonts. Like, Kendoshi has the one, but it's so far away from the action that deploying just doesn't really feel all that good. You know, when your opponent is Forsaken Waste, they can sit up top, just turtle on the aspect and you know, their death benefit shit forever. And yeah, the Spirit managing to float over here was no bueno for Kendoshi. All of his, like, he has to deploy so much over here, invest so much in getting this thing out of his fucking font. Especially after the Grace of the Dead, too. And now he's going to have his bottom contested as well by that Phoenix, assuming Kendoshi doesn't do anything. Imagine if this Shaman was still over here. Imagine it. That would help a lot, honestly. Like, I don't know if this was intentional. I'm assuming not, but it's unfortunate nonetheless. And now Aspect himself is actually moving. He can't actually get through this area here. If I'm not mistaken, that is not 2x2 friendly. Not sure about this space, but this space is definitely pathable. But this one space would be the deal breaker. But it looks like Aspect is changed his mind. And here the latch on was actually a little bit of a mistake by Hetch. Now it just allows the Adept to drag the Spirit out of the font. Spirit gonna have to go all the way back and contest, and now Adept is free to just, you know, take a shot at the Spirit for free. And, I don't know, the Shaman doing some damage to the Aspect. Ooh, the Chipped Boulder coming down to take out the banner. I assume that banner, so the banner positioning earlier was by Hetch was a little suspect, but I was assuming he was going to use it to block an Unholy Tomb or a Tome of Hate or something further in the back. But that relic never came down, so it's just, you know, it's just a dead banner now. And Blood Phoenix on 5. But Chip Boulder here is nice because Stone Barrage gets around all the dread, and it deals nicely with split champs like Broken Bones. But I mean, Hetch's going to take the advantage. He's going to Hex and then contest, keeping his opponent on the ropes. It was looking a little bad after the Sirkin died, but I mean, he's just using the death benefit and the Spirit to stay in the game. I wouldn't call it over for Kendoshi just yet. I mean, the Shaman's dying kind of sucks, but you can just, you know, get the globes and deploy more champs after he deals with this. You can grant Aura here, plus Scouring Luminescence, and all that chip damage will add up. He'll eventually get his font back. He'll eventually regain control of mid. The problem is, after these die, I mean, Broken Bones is on 1, so that's dead. Wandering Zombie is a little bit more of a pain, but it shouldn't be too bad, right? I was kind of hoping he would deploy Ice Snap with the double Revere down, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. And yeah, so there's the Unholy Tomb. Basically securing Hetch's late game prowess here. And pop goes the Spirit. So Kendoshi doing well to regain control of that side. I mean, these aspects are setting on some nice charges, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. The Shaman here can kill the Phoenix, Globe, and then they'll die. I mean, Wandering Zombie, I would assume, would get at least one of these globes. And Weighty actually preventing the Boulder from getting that one just yet. But yeah, this Shaman's dead. This one not far behind. Come on, deploy Ice Snap. Ah, please, please, please deploy the Dragon. You have double Revere. This is literally the perfect time, right before the Shamans die. He should have the Nora, right? He didn't deploy or anything. He didn't cast a spell. There she is. There's the boy. So that was, let's see, 83 was the base. I'm not actually sure what the discount. It was 20%, so someone can do the math. Someone less lazy than me. But I'm glad he actually got that deployed down before before the Shamans popped. But of course now the aspect actually showing its worth here. Now Ice Snap is definitely something the aspect excels against. And Corsine as the follow-up here for the Fear. Maybe I was a little hasty over saying the aspect is overrated. Maybe the 90 Nora is worth it. I mean, it's got... Well, one of those Shamans was killed by the spell, but still, I mean... It's in a good position. Like, this is a really good map, to be fair, for Aspect of Death, because they haven't even really made any attacks. They just sit there and short-lived everything, and it's not fun. Oh yeah, Crystal Crawler was doomed as well. Was that from the aspect or was that from the spell again? I'm assuming it's from the aspect because Death Knell is global range. But shouldn't that have hit the Lonks though? Not sure why it hit the Crawler. It's probably the spell and I just missed it. But yeah, Kendoshi not really able to make any progress. Like he's just been getting bogged down by the Disturbed and the Walls of Meat, clogging up these choke points. I would hope that now that he finally has his font back, he can start to make some progression. He had a good play with the Sirkin earlier, but he didn't really capitalize on it very much. Wait, Coursing has Horrific Aura now? Since when? Yeah, I remember the other changes, but I don't remember seeing him with Horrific Aura anywhere. He has Frightful, which is nice, and then he's got a lot of damage reduction, honestly. Fearsome Hunter, Frightful, Unspeakable, and Horrific Aura. I've been thinking about making a Fear deck. Maybe split with ST, maybe, because they have some like psychological warfare champs on their Yeti, but it just seems like a really feast or famine strategy, the Fear stuff, because basically like one Bastion of Will champ or Bastion of Courage Or, you know, a fearless guy can ruin your day, and then there's prestige going around on some equips, and it just goes down. Like, it's very like high roll. You either steamroll or you get hard countered and lose the match. That's sort of the same with spirits, in my opinion. Oh, was that an ice dragon statue on the... Hold on. Where was that? Yeah, was that the Orb of Frostwall that just got popped, or was that an action? I think that was. Because, yeah, nobody... Oh, no, they still have Trail Snow. Okay, so the Orb is still around. So the Ice Dragon statue going down for the Bolt, and that's kind of nice. It blocks the zombie somewhat from the font. But, yeah, now Kendoshi is pissed. He's leaping in with that Theron Wanderer. Beating that Aspect's ass. And, I mean, now the Aspect is going to be a little bit pressured. I mean, the double dread is painful, to be fair, and then, of course, the frightful aura add on top of that. But yeah, it was kind of a shame that Ice Snap was the he met his match in this matchup, because he would have been nice in pretty much any other one. I've been wanting to see the new Ice Snap in play with the Enduring Aura, the Elemental support. But Dread and then Doom, not looking too favorably now. Kendoshi has done a nice job after the first misstep of gathering the globes. So hopefully he gets Ice Snap's globe at the very least. And then Corsine, oh, do another Mist of the Dead in the font. Do it. Please. I want to see Mist of the Dead actually do something again. So there's another Snow Trap. Why the Snow Trap? I mean, I guess it's kind of a nice relic. Let's be real. The frost damage plus the chill plus the frozen plus the snow, that's a lot of impediment that can go down. And it's 20 Nora. Like, it's basically, people run like the lava trap for a similar reason, right? It's really cheap, good damage. And then it blocks up some space with the terrain. But there's a Moby. Wow. Moby for, I'm guessing, just the kill on the Farron? Yep. I mean, he gets in the font and finds the orb, finally. So, I don't know, that was a pretty good Moby. I gotta say, it did some damage over here, let the aspects stay safe. These guys are dying. I mean, it wasn't like, you know, stellar Moby, best in the world, but it's getting a little rough for Kendoshi. I don't know how he's gonna come back now with all his champs just dying. I mean, the aspects are kind of low, they're like half HP. Maybe we can see a Gale Force on this turn to get it out of that bodyguard range. See, if one of the aspects dies, and then Kendoshi can gather all these globes, it could be worth it. It looks like he might be going for the Gale Force here. Okay, or not. He's just going to make an attack on the bodyguard instead. Yeah, so going to hit the Death Guard, going to Aura. I mean, he's got to do what he's got to do. If the Death Guard is going to be guarding that, just got to get it out of there. And the zombie's looking a little low, but it's still got its head. And Corsine, another respawn champ. I wonder, I guess Hetch is just relying on Tomb for all the Nora, because he's got a bunch of expensive shit in play right now. Corsine, aspects are all 90 Nora. I wouldn't have the balls to run this deck. I would think, man, that average champ cost is like in the 60s. Or the average rune cost is in the 60s. All my champs are like 80 Nora, like Dark Knight, Phoenix, Aspect. I would not fancy my chances versus the more efficient decks going in at the top ranks. But yeah, Ice Snap going to have its globe gathered safely. And Kendoshi's putting in a real show of it. Maybe he's banking on the boulder to carry him through this. The boulder with Star Catalog. I didn't even mention this. Basically, it gives him more sustain. That's kind of it. Aura, Frost Acolyte, and no +1 speed because physical attack. Is that a Humble just for the aspects? Okay. Wait, where was that? Humble. Oh no, Humble doesn't work. Oh, poor guy didn't read it. So Humble only works on champions... What is it, below it? No, it refunds based on 80 Nora. Okay, yeah. So I was actually the mistaken one. What I was thinking was Humble only works on champions below 80 Nora. But the actual effect is it refunds for champs below 80 Nora. So things do still get distracted here, the aspects. No more Death Knell. But I mean, at this point, do they really even need it? It's basically them versus the one adept. The only thing for Hetch here is that he doesn't really have, like, he can't really pressure the shrine with these guys. Like, he can maybe force a transfigure first, and then they'd be great. But, oh, the weaken? He's running weaken too? Alright, I kind of like this guy's deck a little more now. Weaken is kind of like the Forsaken Waste version of Devolve. And KF players do be loving their Devolve. Carnivore staple, the Frostfall Dragon. This guy used to be so fun. 2 to 5 range, and then nice big AoE. He still has that, but I don't know. I don't like him as a melee champion. He's fat, and he makes a lot of snow, but he had range. I like the range. Give me my range back. He was like one of the only like the range champions that I liked in ST. Aside from Elder. Elder was cool, but he's getting nerfed in the upcoming patch. Alakami is totally out to get me, but he's nerfing my shit, man. He's taking away my gerbs. But I mean, it's interesting now. You can do something like with Farron, but of course he's just gonna get doomed immediately by Hetch, throwing around that spell like cotton candy. Cotton candy, and this is definitely a circus kind of game. Not circus as in the factions all being different, but circus as in a clown fiesta. Hetch is not a clown, he is the entire fucking circus. And yeah, it's very slowly becoming apparent to Kendoshi that he doesn't have it. He just doesn't have it in this one. Doom too strong. Doom spam. Now, if only Forsaken Way, like he should be running Doombringer, I think, right? The Forsaken Way's Doombringer in this deck, because it also has Doom. And then he should have like the LE version of Disturbed Spirit, the Haunting, so that he can just spam the taunt Doom over and over again, and then just bring Doom to everybody all the time, sort of like he's doing right now. But Corsine pops off his horse, and I mean, I think his second form, they basically buffed his first form, but the second form is still pretty cool. It's got Conqueror, Oblivion Shield for Fawn battles, and then Chain Lightning, I think, as an ability could really use a tune-up, like basically a modernization. It's literally the worst AoE ability. It does pathetic damage, and like something like, just look at Arc Blade. Like the Arc Blade abilities, Arc Blade Electric, Arc Blade Frost on the Salaman and shit, and just compare that to Chain Lightning, and it's obvious. Like, Chain Lightning is really falling behind in terms of damage. So maybe an increase on that to like 15 base, and then and the small ones as well. Yeah, Aspect of Death dooming everybody again. Does that stack to Short-Lived too? I don't think it does. No. And then it actually hits the non-short-lived champions, rather than the short-lived champions taking the hit. So Frostfall Dragons both doomed, Chipped Boulder now also doomed, and Kendoshi realizes that he is doomed. So Hetch takes the game, and well played to both. We'll see everyone in the next one.